y'all will all stand and join me in prayer. Test. Sovereign Lord, King of the universe, you are the creator of the world, the author of life, founder of the family, institutor of government, head of the church, and perfecter of our faith. From you and through you and to you are all things. Yet there is so much wickedness in ourselves, in our nation, and in the world. O Lord, we need you to cleanse us and forgive us. Millions of unborn babies have been sacrificed on the altar to self, and the government that was meant to protect the innocent has allowed it. We are corrupting the impressionable minds of our children. The institutions intended to train them in truth are instead encouraged them to deny you, follow their passions, and harm their bodies. We have rejected and attacked your beautiful design for marriage and the family. Our marriages do not always reflect this picture of Christ and his bride, while outside forces pressure us to deny the very definition of this sacred union. We have been irresponsible with our revenue and our debt. We have abused our authority and not stood for righteousness. We have allowed corruption, injustice, and negligence in our public affairs. We have done good works, but not equipped each other to resist deception and grow into maturity in Christ. How easily we take our eyes off you. You would be justified in condemning us all, yet you are merciful, and you showed us mercy by condemning your Son, who bore our sins in his body on the cross. Because he died and rose again, we who have placed our trust in him now strive for righteousness found only in his grace and by the power of his Spirit. Thank you, God, for this great salvation. Amen.
Amen.
All right, will we stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the text.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
You may be seated. I will read the Republican Party of Texas preamble. Affirming our belief in God, we still hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Throughout the world, people dare to dream of freedom and opportunity. The Republican Party of Texas unequivocally defends that dream. We strive to preserve the freedom given to us by God, implemented by our founding fathers, and embodied in the Constitution. We recognize that human nature is immutable. We further recognize that the tradition of family is the strength of our nation. It is our solemn duty to protect the innocent life and to develop responsible citizens. We understand that our economic success depends upon free market principles. If we fail to maintain our sovereignty, we risk losing the freedom to live these ideals. I now call the meeting to order. Hello? Can you come do roll call, please?
I'm pretty loud. Okay. Precinct Chair 1A, Rebecca Buns. Here. 1B, Charles Thacker.
Here.
1B, Vice Chair, Whitney Riley.
Here.
1C, Tentative Chair. Well, he hasn't been sworn in, but he's a guest. 1D, Chair, Tim Buskey.
Here.
2A, Chair, Jeff Sarazano.
Here.
2B, Chair, Jerome Iltis.
Here.
2C, Chair, Sarah Coburn. That's what she resigned. 4C, Vice Chair, Mike Bombeck. 3B, Vice Chair, Julie Clark. 3C, Chair, Flora Gert, here. 3C, Vice Chair, Kathy Kammerer. 3D Chair, Brad Price.
Here.
3E Chair, we do not have one. 4A Chair, Jerry Beck.
Here.
4B Chair, Stan Hulse.
Here.
4B Vice Chair, Margaret Fernandez. 4C Chair, Maria Vanderslice.
Here.
Okay, they're all here.
Need the mic too.
6, 7, 8, 9. 9, we have a quorum.
All right, we have a quorum. Flo, do you have the minutes for the January meeting?
Somewhere in this pile of stuff. I
Okay.
set them aside. This is all your agenda. Oh, that's the letters that have to be read into the record. January the 8th. January the 8th. Okay. Robert Oberlander opened the meeting with prayer. County Republican Chair led the pledges. We have 8 chairs and 2 vice chairs in attendance. We also have 13 guests. Motion by Kathy Kammerer and second by Stan Hulse to accept the minutes from the December 19th, 2003 meeting. Motion passed. Brad Price claimed he did not receive the minutes. The secretary will double check the mailings and report to Brad, which she did. 8 precinct chairs that filed for office and ran unopposed to be sworn in tonight include 1A, Rebecca Bruns, 2A, Jeff Sarazano, 3B, Brian Kankey, 3C, Flora Gert, 3D, Brad Price, 4A, Jerry Beck, 4B, Stan Hulse, 4C, Maria Vanderslice. Congratulations to all. 1C, Kevin Newman, did not attend. Contested races include county chair and precinct chairs for 1D, 2B, and 2C. Treasurer Kathy Kammerer reported that bank balance has not changed. We did receive a $20 donation in exchange for one of the shirts hanging on the wall over at the headquarters. Holidays prevented the final bank signature changes. This should be completed next week, which we did do. Past County Chair Julie Clark has transferred management of Facebook to Secretary Flo Gert. Flo, while being totally tech unsavvy, did manage to post tonight's event on Facebook and even received one response. Brad Price wants to add a page to Facebook. Discussion ensued on whether to keep a page or create a group. Past endeavors using GoDaddy proved not to be a good idea for this group. Brian Kankey will set up a business page for Facebook. Brad Price will work on the web page, but first must get access through Julie Clark. Motion by Robert Oberlander and second by Rebecca Bruns to make Facebook a business page so that Medina County Republican Party has its own private page to be controlled by Brad Price and Flora Gert. Motion passed. Medina County Republican Women President Pat Aiken announced our next meeting is January the 16th, 2024 at Chattenville Peacock Forum in Castroville. While we have a particular guest speaker lined up, candidates have also been invited to attend to introduce themselves. The next meeting is February the 20th, 2024 with the same format. Candidates would get 3 minutes to speak, but would return to their seats until all have spoken. Individual Q&A would take place after the meeting is closed and people can mingle. With that information, Medina County Republican Party has opted not to have another candidate forum of its own. The NRA has just endorsed Dave Phelan. You may want to check out Gun Owners of America instead. Motion by Brad Price and second by Stan Hulse to adjourn. Pass. Meeting closed at 7:39 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Flora Gert, Secretary.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move we approve the January minutes.
Is there any discussion, any corrections? Do we have a second? Second? We have a second. All members of the executive committee, say aye. Aye. Are there any nays? The ayes have it.
I do not. Kathy has health issues with her husband, and she didn't give me that.
Chip, so we need a motion to table the treasurer's report since he's not here. Probably not, since she's just not. Okay. I mean, there is no report to table.
All right, the treasurer was unable to make it tonight, so we will table the treasurer's report till the next meeting. That concludes the old business. I do want to bring up the Medina County Republican Women's PAC president so she may inform everyone on some changes that were made to the event.
Thank you, Brian. Welcome, everyone. Our candidate meeting was originally January 16th, but the weather was too cold and the venue probably was going to be too cold. So we moved it to February 9th instead of the 20th because we had a lot of candidates who were already kind of heard about that date. The format was altered by a vote from our executive board meeting, and the format will be an introduction for all the candidates, and then we will break. The venue will be open for drinks and for food, and it will be a one-on-one or group questions, discussions with the candidates of their choices. So the voters have more opportunity to be able to talk. We limited that because we changed it because we had a lot of candidates and we had some time constraints. And so we wanted to run it that way. So I hope that meets everyone's likeness. If not, we apologize for that. But I hope to see everyone on the 9th of February. And there'll be no meeting on the 20th of February. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I hope everyone can attend the February 9th. It should be a very good event. It starts at 6:30, correct? 6 p.m. at Schottenball. And it's my understanding they're allowed to set up a table?
Yes, all the candidates and MPs will be asked to go to the table, and then people can meet and greet them there. They can bring all the information that they have.
Yeah, so you can have your push cards, your signs, and everything you would like to have there. All right, at this time, I would like to give an elections update in regards to the LAT testing. So, we were able to pass the LAT testing last week. It went very well. We put in 225 ballots for the Republican Party and 225 ballots for the Democratic Party. And we got everything to match up. Agree with me, Whitney?
Yes.
Okay. During that day, but right before we started, I looked at a ballot, and there was a misspell. And my apologies to Mr. Dolace, but we have corrected it. He went from an Arnie to an Amy. So my apologies. So Loopy and I thought that since it was we were just correcting an Arnie to an Amy, that we should be fine with the LAT testing. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So we are going to do LAT testing again on Thursday. And we're going to do the same thing again. So Mr. Dolace was inputted correctly into SOS. It got downloaded incorrectly to the ballot. I previewed the ballot, and I missed it, along with the elections office as well. So So what I have agreed to do, not to cost the county any money, I am paying the volunteers, the poll workers, to come over and do the LAT testing again, because I missed that name on the preview of the ballot. So that is what I have done. I will be paying the poll workers out of my pocket for the LAT testing. That's just the right thing to do. Loopy's good with that, and we'll be ready to go, and I'm pretty sure that we'll have a very successful 225 and 225 again. And everything that Loopy and I are doing has been cleared through Texas SOS. So, does anyone have any question on that real quick? MEC member question.
What time on Thursday will it start?
I believe it's at 9 a.m.
Okay.
I forwarded it to you, Whitney, right? Yes, 9 a.m. And the LAT testing is open to the public.
Right.
You can watch. It's not that exciting, but you can watch. All right, the next item that I would like to discuss is ballot order clarification. So there was some misinformation put out that people were not in correct order on the ballot. We had a ballot draw at the old courthouse. Everyone drew their card, and everyone is on the ballot correctly to the card that they drew. But there was one individual that was told that he was not in the right place. Upset, rightfully so, but I was able to show him a picture of the ballot, and it was all good. So just want to assure everyone that our ballot draw is exactly how the ballots are. What you drew is where you're at. There's no alteration there. And Loopy and I double-checked that as well. Okay. The Republican Party is good on poll workers. If you do wish to be a poll worker, we will take you. We just need your name and number after this meeting. We are in flu season, COVID season, and you never know. A group of poll workers may come down ill, and now we have backups. So if you're interested in being a poll worker gets paid. That's a paying job. One of the few. So anyone that would like to be a poll worker is more than welcome to let us know at the end of the meeting, and we will be happy. Yes, sir.
If you don't know how
Sir,
it works, you'll get paid.
Can you stand? State your name and city.
My name is Tim Powell. I'm going to be an election judge over here at the courthouse this year. And if you don't understand how a poll worker does, you have to have direct deposit. They will not give you a paycheck once it's done. Okay, once they accumulate the hours and get them all completed, you'll have to fill out a W-2 with them. And it goes to the HR department over there, and then when it's all said and done, then they send you a direct deposit.
Good. All right, also, poll worker, there is a little online test that you'll need to take. It's not difficult. It's pretty easy to do, and once you completed it, you download your certificate. You will need to take 2 copies of that certificate if you are a poll worker to the polling location and give that to the election judge. Okay? But if you're interested, we'll give you all the details at the end of the meeting. I do need an update on poll watchers.
I didn't come prepared with that information. I have about 5.
You have 5. Okay. Yeah, that's all I was looking for, was just a ballpark number. Okay. I know there are many candidates that have their own poll watchers. So, do you want... there's candidates that have called me that said they have poll watchers. Do you want me to have them forward the names to you so you can keep track?
I'd be happy to keep track if they
Okay.
want me to.
Okay. So, difference between poll worker and poll watcher is one gets paid and one doesn't. So the poll watcher also still has to take the online course, download the certificate. So, poll watchers, a candidate can assign poll watchers to a polling location, just as well as the party can assign poll watchers to a polling location. Okay? So if you're a candidate out there, you can assign someone to be at the polling location as a poll watcher on your behalf. You just have to make sure that they take the poll watchers course. All right. Actually, that concludes all the old business. Now we move to new business. Precinct conventions update for dates and locations. Is there any Medina County Executive Committee member that has not received this from me? So everyone have it. Okay. These are our precinct convention.
I don't have that.
Oh, you don't? I'm sorry.
I need this to make sheets.
Okay. All right, precinct conventions will be Saturday, March 12th at 1 p.m. Divine County Building Precincts 4A, 4B, 4C, and...
Okay, I need this.
Mhm. That's what you sent me. Okay. So Divine County Building Precincts 4A, 4B, C, and 3C Castroville Annex Precinct 2, Precincts 2A, 2B, 2C, and 1C Hondo Courthouse Precincts 3A, 3B, 3D, 3E, and 1BD. That was confusing.
Question.
Yes.
Where I live got changed to 1A.
Okay.
I don't see 1A.
Okay.
Michael.
You don't have any ones on there.
Yeah, you do. Castroville, 1C.
Yeah.
And Hondo, 1B.
And 1C. 1A, 1B, 1C. Where's the 1B? Oh, down there.
Where's 1A?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
1A.
1A is left off. New precinct, we'll get it added.
Okay.
What,
Michael.
It's the first Saturday. The election is March the 5th.
yep.
So Saturday, March the 9th
Okay.
will be the precinct conventions because the county convention by law has to be March the 23rd.
Okay.
So at the precinct convention, you're going to elect delegates to the county and you're going to be given invitations to mail out. So we need time for those invitations to go to the mail.
All right, so we have a correction on this document. So it's March 9th is the precinct conventions.
First Saturday. The election is March the 5th. Saturday is March the 9th are the precinct conventions. These sheets will be, I'll make copies and they will be posted at all of the polling places for voters to pick up. The Democrats do the same thing for their caucus. That way they know, all the voters will know when and where.
The year says 2022.
2023,
You need
2024.
2024.
All right, well, we have corrections
Well, you
here.
know why this is? Because what I sent you was the last one we did 2 years ago. And redistricting has occurred since then.
All right, we'll get these corrections made. So the precinct convention is going to be held Saturday, March 9th, the Saturday after the primary. The county convention, and you said the 23rd, correct?
March 23rd, that's by state law.
All right, so 23rd, the county convention will occur.
This was a template.
Okay. So what is the importance of these precinct conventions and these county conventions? Okay? I will give you what occurred at the last state convention. So in July, when we were in Houston, along with 15,000 other Texas delegates, we had been redistricted. Okay? We have always been deep red and to the west. Okay? But you have rhino legislators that like to shape and form things. So for the first time in our caucus room, we had Williamson County added to us, and we had Bell County. Okay? If you don't know, Williamson County is basically North Austin, and Bell County is Georgetown and up. Okay? Delegates to the convention are based on population. Okay? So at the last convention in July in Houston, It was all we could do to muster enough votes in the caucus room to keep the purple and the blue from overturning the priorities, platforms, and planks that we were working on. Williamson County showed up with 52 delegates. I believe Bell County came in at 49. The closest behind them, I believe, was Fredericksburg with 36. And then it went downhill from there. So we're being told at this upcoming convention, obviously the population in Williamson County is growing. Population in Bell County is growing. We're expecting them to come in between the two of them with over 120 delegates. It will be a very intense battle in the caucus room. But it has to be done, it needs to be done, and we are working diligently with our SREC, the other chairs that are in our district, to come up with a game plan so we can defeat the purple that's coming. We already know it's coming. And they did all they could at the last convention, but we were just able to muster enough to hold them off. So it's important for you to come to the precinct and the county conventions, because this is where you get to be a voice. This is where you can get to become a delegate and go attend the state convention. Okay? At the state convention, this is where it's done. This is where it happens. And at the state convention in July that was in Houston, I mean, you had 15,000 delegates that spent a week of their time and their own money to be there to fight for the priorities, platforms, and planks for the Republican Party of Texas. And of course, everything passed on the general session floor, coming out of the caucus rooms. I think we averaged a pass rate of 90%, which that's pretty good. Plus, if you've never been to the Texas State Republican Convention, you should go, because ours is the largest in the United States. We have the biggest and best Republican convention in the United States. And there's a lot of great people to meet. There's a lot of great things that can happen. And I will tell you, at the July convention, it was all about killing the rhino. And I will promise you this, at this convention, it'll be even more intense on the rhino. We've all seen what has happened at the 88th legislative session. I went to the 88th legislative session 67 times during the session to try to help get stuff passed, moved, and out of that. The unfortunate thing for us in the 88th legislative session is we had a Speaker of the House who is a rhino, who has sided with the Democrats. And how we know this is because I was there on January 10th making the rounds to all the state reps, begging them not to vote this Speaker of the House back in, because he is not going to honor the wishes of the Republican Party of Texas. So when Dave Phelan, one of the guys, gave his nominating speech, he got five seconding speeches. They were all from Democrats. Had one Republican that nominated him, and the 5 seconding speeches were all Democrats. So what did Dave Phelan do when the legislative session started? He took Democrats and put them on top of every one of our Republican priorities that we came out of the convention with. The majority of our legislation that we fought for in the caucus and the general session never made it to the legislative floor. That's disheartening. It's very disheartening. And we have got to figure out how to get back to being totally fully red. We have been promised a red wave for the last 5 years, and it has not been delivered on. Texas has done fairly good on the red wave, as not good enough, but better than most. So we need a new national chairperson as well, because I look at the head of the National Republican Party as an NFL or Major League Baseball coach. Okay? You are surrounded by the top talent. And if you have 5 losing seasons as an NFL coach or a Major League Baseball coach, you get fired. And she has not delivered. So hopefully there are big changes coming at the top up there. We'll hope so. We will hope so. But I encourage you to come and become a delegate and go to the convention. It's oh yes, a very important item too at the convention is to write resolutions. At your precinct conventions, you will form resolutions, then they'll be brought to the county convention, and they will either be amended, modified, not passed, or passed. And then those resolutions that pass out of the Medina County Republican Party will be forwarded to the Texas Republican Party of Texas. So this is our opportunity where we can make changes or push an agenda through. So I hope to see everyone at the precinct conventions. All right, so we have the corrections on the precinct conventions. Saturday, March 9th, 2024. We have the buildings and locations. We also know that the county convention must be on the 23rd of March. So, we want someone with my MCEC, please make a motion to accept.
Jerome Milton, so moved.
Okay, we have a second. Second by Tim Buskey. Yes, accept this. Okay, all those member of the Medina County Executive Committee, if you are in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passes. All right. We have concluded new business. So I'm going to move to the question and answer session. You're more than welcome to ask a question, or you're more than welcome to make a statement. Either way, a question or statement will get a response. So I will ask you, if you're a non-executive member who wishes to speak, please raise your hand. Once recognized by the chair, ask for point of information. I will acknowledge you, and you'll be given 2 minutes to make a statement or ask a question. No time may be yielded to another person. There will be no interruptions. And if the recognized person is interrupted, they will be given 2 more minutes until they have the ability to speak uninterrupted. Okay? I do not believe we will have an issue, but in the event, there'll be 1 warning given for the person causing interruption, and the second time you'll be asked to leave. I do not want to see anyone leave this meeting. That serves no purpose. Okay? But I do want to clarify some things. Let's get the truth out there and not misinformation. And I will be completely 100% transparent with you, as well as this Medina County Executive Committee. Okay? Because we do not get high marks recognized for doing bad things by the Republican Party of Texas. We get recognized and honored because we do great things for the Republican Party of Texas. And you can call our state Republican Executive Committee person, Andy Eller, who's in charge of our district. He will tell you no different. All right. So do I have a hand up? Please stand.
I'm just curious about the sign-up sheet, because we were told to sign up for the order.
This is
where
a
to
separate
speak.
sheet.
So there's question session, and then there's going to be a speaking, or how does that work?
No. I put the rules here. It's question and answer. Okay? And you're more than welcome.
No, they had us sign up. They said we had
Okay.
to sign up to speak, so that's
Okay.
what we did.
I am not aware of that.
Yeah.
And,
That's his list.
okay.
We asked them to speak, so there's your list.
Run just, so it's run from the top down and then open it up after you run up.
Okay.
Run down the people who.
Okay.
This is your priority list.
Okay. All right. Okay. Jerry Beck, you were first on the list.
I need to go up there to get the mic.
You have an option.
We only get 1 minute, Jerry.
You get 2 minutes.
I don't think it'll take 2 minutes. Good to see everyone here. Seems like the Medina County Republican Party has generated a great deal of interest lately. Unfortunately, it's for the wrong reasons. My main focus tonight is the wording in the bylaws under Article 13. I'm going to stay away from the Facebook blocking and the personal attacks seen during the past week or so. I have both versions of the bylaws sent to me on 2 different occasions, and both, although worded differently, were represented as true and correct, but different still. I'll not quit until this article is repealed and the party returns to what it was under Ann Peden. Thank you.
Amen.
Ellen Rositsky. Ellen? You have 2 minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. First off, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. It's always great to see everyone. I understand that what I do is I like to get out along the byways. A lot of people hang out around the highways. I hang out around the byways. And I found out that there are some people that were a little concerned about the article that I put in the page last week. It came down to 3 words.
Can't hear you.
Good? Okay, we're good. Okay. I used to sing in 2 choirs, and the first thing they told you was learn how to manage your mic. Okay, got it. But I heard there was a little consternation over an article that appeared in the paper, and I wrote it. And it said that the position that I am running for, to be considered for, had been vacant for a few years. Well, that was incorrect, and what I did was the information that I checked was off the website, and there was no one listed in that. It was off the Medina County Republican Party website, and there's no one listed for that position. And I was told that it was going to be vacant. I thought it was vacant at the time. So I come from the old, well, first off, I apologize for any consternation that caused, any dissension that caused in the ranks. Did not mean to do that at all. I can tell you right now, we got plenty of other people that want to come in here and separate and divide and cause a lot of harm and dissension. Not me. Those are the people outside this room. Those are the people that support other parties and things like that. We need to be united. So whenever I've run into a problem like this in the past, and everybody does, I believe, you've been out there and you've seen things that you could have done better. You might have done better. You might have worded better. Relationships that you didn't quite get all there. So what I'd like to say is I'd like to reach out to the people that were offended and say that I deeply apologize for that. The rest of the article contained factual information about me, and I look forward to assisting the Republican Party grow. As right now the turnout in the precinct is about 25% on a good day. 25%. We need to be better, and I'm willing to help them with that. So whatever happens. Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
All right, David Ellinger.
Thank you. I'm a native Divine fella. I was born here in Hondo in the old hospital that doesn't even exist. His apartment's over there. I'm one of 12 children. Yes, my mom had 12 of us. 6 boys, 6 girls. I'm halfway. And so they always called me number 6. Where's number 6? He's out playing somewhere. Anyway, some of y'all know me well, some of y'all don't. But I went in the Navy in 1975, came back in 1995, went around the globe twice. As Brian talked about it, my faith, I believe in God in a mighty way, and that's what we all need to espouse to all those that we come in contact with. 2, I'm accessible. On my flyer has my phone number and my cell phone, and I got hearing aids that I dedicated on the flight deck of aircraft carriers. So I've experienced that. I came back into Medina County and got in the hot pit of the appraisal district. Imagine that, being an appraiser in Medina County. After that, I went into BMA. Now those farmers out there, they like their water. So you got to be able to share your water. We don't have much up there right now, so we need to pray for that rain. And after that, I started several businesses. Am I short yet? 10 seconds.
20.
Oh, I'll take that back. Anyway, I started several businesses, air conditioning. My sons have their license doing it. I taught air conditioning for a season, and now it's time to move on. I really appreciate serving the community. I've got 2 experiences in political subdivision, both appraisal district and BMA. In BMA, and that's a lot of wrangling that can happen with farmers. And I really believe in protecting the ranch land, and that's what I'm going to run on. So we got to manage that well. Thank you.
David, thank you for getting me in trouble.
I walk through it every day.
Okay. Let's keep our speeches to the topics of the party, all right? And my apologies to you if you weren't explaining that.
Okay.
Okay, all right. All right, Joe Ainsworth.
My question pertains to what Jerry Beck spoke about in regards to repealing the bylaws that y'all passed.
I am surely going to get to that for you here tonight. Okay.
I have a question about this question.
Yes.
I didn't understand.
Well, please stand. State your name.
My name is Mona Walters from Hondo.
Okay.
I didn't understand what Mr. Beck's problem with the bylaws was. Am I the only one? I didn't know what he wants done. He just wants it out?
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Oh, okay. Well,
Specifically.
thank you, Ms. Walters. We're going to get to that.
Thank
And
you.
I understand your question. All right. Let's not miss a different person.
Okay.
Okay. Is Terry Beck here? Terry Beck.
Got to get my eyes on. Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Chairman. It's quite evident that many are here tonight questioning the bylaw that the Medina County Republican Party has put in place. And I would like to share some facts on this bylaw and bylaws in general and other. Fact. The bylaw in question came by way of the Republican Party of Texas and the State Republican Executive Committee. Fact. The bylaw in no way limits registered voters an opportunity to vote in an election. Fact. The bylaw in no way limits who a voter can vote for. Fact. The bylaw in no way determines who the Republican candidate will be in the general election. Fact. The bylaw, or something similar, is being used by the Republican Party of Texas and many other counties in Texas. Fact. We have local elected officials and others endorsing their Republican candidate for Congress for District 23 in Texas, who has been censored by the Republican Party of Texas, the Medina County Republican Party, and many other counties in this district. Fact. Local, state, and national candidates running for office do not get the endorsements of each and every county or district they represent. Fact. When local, state, and federal officials declared an invasion on our state, our former judge refused to recognize that fact. And this invasion has put us a damaging burden on our state and made it less safe, has it not? Amen. Fact. The former judge, who is now running for Medina County Republican Party chair and others, wrote false claims and fabricated incidents that never occurred about me to the Medina Valley Independent School Board.
10 seconds.
And I was criminal trespassed. But I fought the fight, and I proved them all liars, and they dismissed it by a unanimous vote by the school board. Thank you very much.
There you go, baby.
Okay. I'm going to please ask again, okay? It's not a candidate forum. We're not going to bash somebody individually, right? So let's just stick to the nuts and the bolts of the bylaw, and we're going to get to it, okay? Heather Yanta.
Hi, I'm Heather Yanta. First of all, I know a lot of y'all probably know what's going on, but I want to address one thing he just said, is that I've been on the phone with the GOP for the past couple of weeks. They have all told me repetitively that this bylaw and the way it is worded, they do not support, that they do not like it, and that they tell me they don't have a way to stop it right now. We need to get to the state conventions, and we need to stop it that way. But they told me unequivocally over and over again that this wording on this bylaw is not the way the party should be. We should not allow our county primaries to have preferential treatment. There should be no endorsements. The people should be neutral. I have been on the phone with them, Jen Hall and others in Austin. If you want to call them too, you can. I'm going to go on to what I have prepared now. Since I brought this bylaw to people's attention in the county, January 20th, the leadership on Medina County Republican Party Facebook page, has called me a liar, a hater. They've called me corrupt, they've called me a rhino, and they called me a Tony Gonzalez supporter, which I'm not, before they blocked me on Facebook. I've been accused of being owned. I've been accused of being used. I've been accused of, other things. One man here had the audacity to call my husband and ask him what right I have to have an opinion on this bylaw. Yeah. My personal favorite is that I have been linked to some vague criminal organization in the area, and that's why I oppose this bylaw. So given everything that I went through these past few weeks and all the things I've had, I want to know, how can I trust this party with that bylaw that you're not going to weaponize it against people when you've weaponized your Facebook page already?
All right.
I have a quick question. Is there any Medina County executive member that has said anything derogatory to Heather Yanta on her Facebook page?
I've got screenshots.
Is there any Medina County executive member? And Ms. Yanta, if you can name me a Medina County executive member that has... Please.
Every time I asked who was saying that, they said it was Brian. Then Brian got on and said, no, I've not said that. We have all the screenshots. I have no clue who on that part of the Facebook page was saying this, but yes, they were identifying themselves as Brian when they were saying this. Julie called me corrupt on her page. I can name names and I've got screenshots, but I know you didn't want to get into that. But yes, I have all the screenshots. I am not a liar, sir. And I have not lied in any of this. All I said was I want to go back to when it was Ann Peden, and she did not preferentially treat people. She brought us in, we learned about all the candidates, and then at the end of the day, whenever we voted, you supported who we voted for. And that is not what y'all have done. And the way y'all have attacked me, messenger, phone calls, the Facebook page, emails, thank you, Flo. Way I have had all of this go at me, I do not trust y'all with this bylaw. I want it repealed. No, I do not live here right now, as y'all were nice enough to call me as someone from Rockport. But I promise you, Most people in here know me. I have been here forever, and I've been very involved. But I have the screenshots. Glad to send them to you.
Please do.
I will.
Please. Bonnie Manning.
Hi there. I just got involved in this because I saw the bylaw, and the thing that concerned me as just a normal person is that I do not view the Republican Party in any way as a gatekeeper of information. And when I look to the Republican Party for information about candidates, I expect to find all the information available. I do not expect to have a gatekeeper in the way of me and that information. There are other ways to get that information, but I look to you. So whenever I feel that I cannot trust you to give me that information and to respect my right as a voter and to give me the respect that I have as someone in America who has the freedom to vote who I want to, I want more information about these people. I don't want less. And that's my problem with the bylaw, is we need more information, not less. And then one more thing is, I do want to know if you are proud of this bylaw. Why did I hear about it from a third party and not from you directly?
Okay, we'll get to that.
Thank you.
Carrie Davis.
I didn't prepare anything. They all did. My question is, who exactly runs the Facebook page? I see that Brian has signed some of the announcements here lately since the questions have been drawn, but I'd like to know who are the administrators of the Facebook page, who has rights within all of this group to make those posts, and so because that would kind of help narrow down who did the blocking kind of thing. And when are you going to, I appreciate that you've responded when people have asked questions about the bylaw and you said you're going to get to that. I'd like to know when. Are at the end of all the question answers, or because I don't see it on the agenda, and I realize that I probably am not.
I'm going to get you.
Okay, perfect. So I realize that I'm not, like I was saying, that I may not be able to ask, but that's something that I had asked on Facebook. If you're following the fun page, you notice that I had asked if it could be placed as an action item tonight, not just to be discussed. Because if you know all this Robert Rules baloney, you know that things need to be placed as an action item. And what was that for? I'm sorry. That's part of my questioning.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I interrupted.
So she gets 2 more minutes.
I do. Thank you. That's right. And you know what? I'm a talker, so this is going to work out great. So what'd you say? I keep getting interrupted, but it's from up here. That's interesting.
Your time has restarted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. My question really is twofold, I guess. Who runs the thing? I'd like that answer. So I think we would all probably like it if you've been following. And I know there's people that think like me and don't think like me, but I think it'd be nice for us to know who has the commenting rights or the posting rights. We can all comment, right? And also, I know that you're going to answer some questions, but why wasn't it put as an action item? Because I feel that there's several people that would like it changed. So then if it were placed on here as an action item, that could be handled tonight. So now you see, we're going to have to wait unless they call a special meeting. There's no action able to be taken because it's not an action item. I didn't even need all the extra 2 minutes. Thank you.
Eric Smith.
Good evening. We're from the other side of the county, Divine Natalia. That's a lot of folks here. We sit back, we don't get involved much. We're a small knit community and we're pretty close. And one thing that I have seen for the last few years, growing up as a Republican, 4th generation in this county, is over the last 3 or 4 years we've sat back and we've trusted that the right folks have been in charge here. And if you heard tonight, very many uncontested races. To sit here and volunteer, and I respect each one, even though I don't agree. I'm an elected official myself. I've served on the school board for 17 years. Been called everything in the book, threatened a number of times as a school board member. It's a thankless job as every other elected position here in this county. But we need a party that is going to also support the folks that got elected by the folks sitting in this room. We don't need people here that are going to bash, constantly criticize, and tear down our elected officials. Because as you see tonight, most of the folks that sit here, I appreciate their volunteerism. Most of them don't take one vote to sit here. But yet the people that we criticize on a daily basis by a small group of folks that claim to speak on behalf of the Republican Party sit and they chastise our elected officials every time it doesn't match their rhetoric. And I think that is what is dividing this county. Yes. And it's a shame, and that's why we have a room full of people here. Because we can threaten all we want behind private messages and text messages, but we've shown tonight that we're not going to allow those to keep us divided. And that's why we're here, because we need to come together as a county. Yeah. That is what has brought Medina County to why people move here.
Robert Oberlander.
You need this? No, I think y'all can all hear me, right? Thank you, Eric. And we're opposed in many circumstances, but I strongly support what you just said. There's one thing I do want to say here tonight. I brought my great-grandson in for his first real civics lesson. I would like to say thank you for showing him what adults can do, how adults can treat each other. And he's seen some of our tension. All right, now I'm a cause of some of it. This is the kind of audience, this is the kind of attendance we should have had for the last 4 years. All right? The last 4 years. We could have packed our normal attendance in that little corner right over there. All right? This is what we need. This will make the party better. Thank you. I'm done.
All right, that concludes the speakers list.
I was unaware of the list. Point of information. Go. Recognize.
Sir, may we have your name, city, and ask for a point of information?
Point of information, Josh Ritchie, Divine.
Yes, sir.
No mic? All right. So I understand there's a lot of frustration over the participation or lack thereof. But I'll tell you, nobody can find the meetings. I've been trying for the last year through every contact method, and it was only recently, the last meeting, I was able to find a location in time. So that's just in defense of the folks who I understand we want them to show up to meetings. I don't expect every citizen to show up. They trust us as the representatives to act on their behalf and inform them when important things are happening. And I will say thank you to Stan Halls for trying to make press for this to be an open meeting so we can have the transparency. I don't believe any of this stuff was done behind closed doors or cloak and dagger, but obviously a lot of folks disagree with it. There are some folks in this room who I'd call brother. We disagree, though I'm not entirely decided on this topic. I would ask that we maintain good decorum and not throw spears at each other, try and act respectfully, and try and come to conclusions so when we walk out this door we can shake hands and still be respectful, even if we disagree and don't vote for the same folks. That's it. Last point there, I do want to give folks the opportunity to address some of the slander and misinformation against them. So 17 February, 8 to 12, Divine Golf Course, elected representative, state and below, come on out. Thank you. 17 February, 8 to 12, the Divine Golf Course. Charlie's daughter. In uniform, more or less.
All right, the first question I'll address is who's the administrators of the Facebook? Okay? Brad Price and Flo Gert.
Who was prior to y'all changing it?
Yeah.
We really didn't have anybody.
Somebody has to be running it.
Nobody was running Facebook. We didn't have anybody, okay? Okay. I am not a Facebook person, okay? I own and operate several businesses. I do not have time to sit at Facebook all day long, okay? So we were getting complaints that not enough information was going to Facebook. So we assigned 2 people to the Facebook, okay? I do not know exactly what happened in the very beginning, but then I stepped in and I looked at stuff and I said, okay, I'm not dealing with this. Let's just go to information. This is not a debate page. This is not a slander page. This doesn't need to be any of that. We just need 2 administrators to get the message out, and that's it. And that is it.
Okay, let me address that.
Okay.
Okay, I had temporary access. I am not tech savvy. I don't understand any of it. I don't know how to get in, how to get out, how to block. I don't have a clue. I'm not even interested. But I was given temporary access, and it took me 2 days to figure out how to post an event for the Medina County Republican women, which subsequently had to be canceled because of the weather. That is the extent of my dealing with Facebook, because I don't understand it. And we haven't had anybody really controlling it because they haven't had the time, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the tech savvy.
Okay.
Now I have Brad Price.
All right. So I want to clarify one other thing, because there's misinformation and the truth not being told. Okay? I was not cherry-picked by my wife to sit in this chair position. Okay? When my wife stepped down because she was asked to run for U.S. Congress, and she accepted, okay? The Medina County Executive Committee got together and decided, you know what, who'd be the next good guy? Okay, so the Medina County Executive Committee elected Tom Lutz. Tom Lutz was the chair that followed my wife. Tom did a good job. Tom comes to the meeting, says, hey, you know what? I'm going to run for commissioner. I'm going to run for commissioner. Awesome. I got to step down. Okay? And anyone that's a member of the Medina County Executive Committee, if what I'm about to say is not true, you call me out right here and right now. So Tom Lutz had to step down. Everybody's looking around the room. Okay? No one stepped forward. No one was able to step forward. I was asked, would you step forward and do it? And I specifically said, look, I will do this to help out. I am not running for chair when the position comes up. That'll be up to you guys. Find the next chair. Okay? So that is how I got in this position. Okay.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact.
All right.
And I'm a new...
Are any of us perfect at the position? No. No, we're not. We're all volunteers. We all have jobs. And that's just the way it goes. Okay? So I hope that answered that question and clarified that. So let's get to the bylaw. Okay? Where did the bylaw come from? Okay? I am also on the phone on a daily basis with the State Republican Executive Committee. Very good friends with Jen Hall. Okay? And this was a tool given to us by the Republican Party of Texas to stop the infiltration of rhinos into the party. Okay? Each county has a little bit different version of this bylaw. Okay? You disagree? I am lying.
I've been reading bylaws.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad you called me out here. All right. So the bylaws of the Gillespie County Republican Party, adopted July 19th, 2022, Article 9, Policy Section 1, Candidate Endorsement. Any party endorsement in support of a candidate shall be approved by 2/3 votes of all full members for any race.
You said all counties have a version of that bylaw. I was disagreeing that you said all counties have a version. I didn't say none do. You said all counties have a version of this bylaw. I disagreed. I didn't call you a liar. I disagreed that all do. I've been reading a lot of bylaws. Yes, some do have it, yes.
Yes.
Some do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your red districts are the ones that all have it. Yeah.
I've been reading lots of bylaws.
Okay.
This has been in place since May. This has been pending for us since May.
Okay.
Not last Tuesday. It's
Yes.
been there for 8 months.
Okay. And this article has been pending, you can go to our minutes, since May of 2023. Okay. We have to have the ability to utilize tools. That bylaw is a tool. This Medina County Executive Committee has not convened to endorse any candidate in this primary. There's been no motion, there's been nothing. Okay? It is a tool to be used to protect the Republican Party of Texas. I will revert back to the 88th legislative session. You had 28 plus rhinos that are supposed Republicans, and this is not my list. This is the Republican Party of Texas's list. Okay? And they wrecked our legislative session. So grassroots, we worked diligently and spent a lot of money to get the supermajority in the House and the majority in the Senate. And the reason we did that is because we wanted to have the ability to pass whatever we wanted to pass. The Republican Party had the ability this 88th legislative session to pass every one of its priorities, platforms, and planks. And it didn't happen because of rhinos. The Republican Party of Texas right now is endorsing candidates in the primary. And there are multiple running. Okay? Your Bandera GOP, Bandera County, okay? Their executive committee meeting met last week, and they've endorsed a Republican candidate in every race. Okay? You have grassroots working diligently to try to get us back to being red. Okay? This bylaw was not put in to be misused. There is a complete vetting process with this. This is just not we convene and decide to endorse somebody. The candidate would, if we decided to open it up, a candidate would have to submit an application. It would go through the vetting process, and we would more than likely send it to the CRC committee at the Republican Party of Texas. What is that? That is the candidate recruitment committee that supports Republicans in local level races. A candidate that's running as a Republican can fill out an application to get endorsed by the Republican Party. Some do, some don't. Okay? That is one of the tools they use to vet candidates and step in the event they need to endorse a candidate in a particular race. Okay? Nothing changes on the ballot because a Republican county party decided to endorse someone. Nothing changes. No one is removed from the ballot. No voter is kept from voting from that candidate. Period. Everybody's on the ballot. But in certain situations, if there arose, if we knew that the person running had voted as a Democrat the last 5 years, and he or she was sent to us to get on the Republican ticket to try to take out someone that represents the Republican Party, then we would want to execute that bylaw to prevent that Democrat from running on the Republican ticket. Because I have to accept a candidate filing from anyone that walks in the door that has the ability to fill out the application correctly. Joe Biden could walk into the Medina County Republican office and say, hey, I want to run for the Republican County Chair. Here's my candidate filing. Okay? We would have to accept it. We would have to accept it. Okay? So our only tool that we have the ability to use to try to stop Joe Biden from running as a Republican is for the executive committee to put out an endorsement for a candidate running in hopes that that derails the project of the Democrat. That is the only reason for this rule. And this is not a rule the Medina County Republican Party made up. This is a rule. This is a rule and a tool that came from the Republican Party of Texas. Your Republican Party of Texas right now is endorsing all across the state of Texas candidates in the primary. Okay? They came out at the beginning in July and endorsed the candidate against Dave Phelan. Dave Phelan's the incumbent. Okay? The Republican Party came out in the summertime and said, you know what? The Republican Party of Texas endorses and backs Dave Covey. Mr. Phelan, you are not winning again.
Good.
Okay? That is the execution of that tool. Okay? That tool is simply to protect the Republican Party. That is it. And yes, there has to be trust there to utilize the tool correctly. But that's why you have an executive committee. It's not one person's decision. And the chair doesn't even get a vote. It's the committee. All the chair does, I govern the meeting. That's it. Your Medina County Executive Committee, your precinct chairs, are your decision makers.
Can you have them stand up and introduce when people are saying here, here, here? Most of us.
Sure. I'll be happy to do that. So there is one goal that we have at the Medina County Republican Party, and that is to beat the Democrats. That is it. Is to beat the Democrats. Yes. Point of order. Please stand.
So I don't remember how many years Ann Peden was in charge. Ann Peden turned this entire county from Democrat to completely Republican.
In 25 years.
Yeah, but she did it.
Well,
and we had that ever since I've lived here. 20 years ago I moved here. There was only one Democrat, and that got voted out. So that's all these years, all Republican, without this little tool. So I go back to my question was, after everything I have been through and other people have been through and called and messaged and texted and everything for 2 weeks from people that are in y'all's circle and on your group, how do you expect us to trust you not to weaponize it? We do not want you to have this tool to weaponize further against us. You know for a fact if I moved back to this county and I ran for office, y'all would find a reason. Well, Julie called me a rhino 2 years ago, and I have not ever done anything rhino, but Julie called me a rhino 2 years ago. Y'all know that y'all would use this against me. Y'all have shown for the past 2 weeks that you want to weaponize against anybody who disagrees you. That is our problem. We don't care what the state of Texas is doing. We live in Medina County. These people don't want you to weaponize this bylaw.
May I have a point of information?
Yes, sir.
Please tell them who you are. Chip Thornsberg. So I got talked into being the parliamentarian. So when you made fun of the Robert's Rules of Order, that was why I was okay. So the answer to your question is it's the executive committee that alters bylaws. So even if Everybody in here says, I don't want that to be, it still takes a precinct chair to make that motion in a regular business that they want to repeal it or modify it or whatever, and then those are the people that vote on it.
Can you tell everybody who the executive committee is? Because everybody's asking
It's
me.
the precinct chairs.
All the precinct chairs.
The precinct chairs in the county.
Rebecca
Yeah.
Bruns, I live in Mifo, I'm precinct
Sorry, he was going to do that.
1A.
But I wanted, because that was, I just wanted to explain that, that's how it actually, that's how it was voted in.
I have a request, and I responded to her every time, and she even thanked me for it. I did, stay at home, right here. I did, I told you that.
I don't know, what did he say?
I said, I told you, I heard all your messages, I responded every time.
But you were the one talking to me in Medina
You said it would be bigger. I said, okay, we have a bigger one. I responded.
I don't understand what you're
Using
saying.
his name
Are you
on
the one,
Facebook.
are you the one talking to me through Medina County Republican Party? You're the ones who
It
said all
says
that
Stan
stuff?
Holtz, that's my name.
Okay, no, and that's you.
You can see my name on there. No, I personally invited you. I personally responded to it. I personally helped. And Eric and these other people, and John, they all said, yeah, thanks.
So it's just about time to say, orders of the day so we can bring back, you're going to stand up all the precinct chairs so they can.
Point of information? Tell me.
No, I just have one
May we
quick
have
question.
your name?
Okay, sorry.
Name and ask for point of information. I'll be going.
Lori Wells Cooper, and I am from Hondo. I have a mailing address in Castroville, so don't beat me up about that. Where do you live? I live in between. I use one for physical, one for mailing. My question would have to be geared towards Heather Yata's question and how she figures the bylaws will be weaponized. And my other comment would be Facebook has been weaponized. And I think that Republican Party, out of respect for our conservative group and what it stands for, shouldn't be attacked publicly and through Facebook. They're not the judge, jury, and executioner. Okay? If you have a grievance, bring it to the party, bring it to a meeting, and be professional. Don't get on Facebook and start dogging everybody and saying all of these things that are untrue or possibly untrue. We don't know. Everybody needs an answer to their question, but let's be professional about it and leave the Republican Party page to information.
I didn't start it on the page.
I didn't say that.
Where am I?
Question right here. Right here.
Yeah, oh, yes, please.
Brenda Havey, Castroville. I was just wondering, you said one of the things that you would use to vet somebody as a candidate would be their voting record. How can we trust that there won't be personal biases with those precinct chairmen that have a personal vendetta or just a personal dislike for a candidate that would keep them from endorsing someone?
So I think I understood you correctly. So, do we use the voting record as a vetting tool? Sure. I mean, that's the first thing that any county party looks at. Well, let's find out how they vote. Okay? Find out you've voted as a Democrat the last 4 years. Well, yeah, that's a red flag. Okay? But that's not where it ends. There's numerous items to the vetting process.
I think that's what we're afraid of.
Why?
Why? Use personal bias.
But you're saying that, but how do you know that's going to happen? Everybody's human beings. I hear about that happening in Castroville all around here.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, do you acknowledge, Mr. Overlander?
Every single one of these precinct chairs is an elected office.
We've been vetted. I've been vetted.
That's your way to do that.
That's right.
You get out there and vote. All these down ticket, we want to vote for president and governor, and these down ticket, you got the timer on me? Oh, you better stop. These down, look, this is where our problem is right now. Our down ticket elections are killing us. All right? Doesn't matter whether we have disagreements. Your voice, as a Republican, is through the county party. That's where it starts. It starts with your precinct captain. And you got to know who they are. They have to campaign.
And we can't get enough people to run for that office. It's hard. Thank you, Flo. Thank you, Rebecca. All of those, all right? Because very few people want to do it. I can't. So that's your voice, all right? And we got to get there. I'm going to say this, Brian, and you correct me if I'm wrong. We have made mistakes in the social media processes that the Medina County Republican Party has used. And I'll be the very first one to stand up and say that out loud. 1 minute left. Thank you. The answer, I don't know. All right? But I will tell you, we need to find one. And I think all of us who have been talking about this at the meetings, we know we got a problem. And we need to find an answer. And we had Brad step up, and he's tech savvy, and I'm trying to get this guy trained up so he can help out. We need that help. We need people to stand up and say, hey, I can run a business page. And we need find a way to pay for it. What was it, GoDaddy, whatever. Thank you. The problem is we're learning. I joined this outfit about 4 years ago when I got back from overseas. Came home. We're learning. We've made mistakes. And I say that as, now I'm not speaking for all the people who are involved in the committee. We've made mistakes. I gotta sit down. And we need everybody's participation and help to help us fix the mistakes that have been made.
Yes, sir. Say your name. My name's Hank C. I don't need that microphone. My name's Hank C. I wasn't going to speak tonight. I know some of you in this room didn't want to hear me speak tonight, but I'm going to speak because I've heard some of y'all say some things here tonight, and it's ridiculous. When I hear tonight after the last 2 weeks of Facebook, I was the one on Facebook having an opinion. It was me. So if you're concerned about that, you have your opinions, I have my opinions. That's what's called social media. I'm shocked that the number of people in this room tonight are here because of your feelings. Because this is what this is about. This is about feelings and not about the rule or law. The truth is the truth. You need to follow the truth and not follow your feelings. There's a lot of people in the county right now putting out truth all over the place about former elected officials. You need to read the truth. Don't shoot the messengers. I know you don't like the messenger. That's okay. Look at what the messenger's giving you. Look at the evidence they're proving. You want to put people like this, they're running for office, and you want to put them in our county, and you bring this kind of stuff here tonight to do this over what? You didn't even have all the facts. You didn't even have all the facts, and you caused all this drama, and if you just look at the truth will set you free. Follow the truth.
Yes, ma'am. State your name, city.
I'm Debbie Southwell.
Yes.
My concern, you say everything's going to be above board on the vetting process. I've been in Commissioner's Court when Julie Clark attacked Chris Schuhart and the commissioners because they wouldn't do what she wanted them to do.
That's not true.
You interrupted. Your 2 minutes starts again.
Nobody interrupted me, so shut up. Yeah, I was in there when she attacked them viciously. There was no tact, no diplomacy, nothing. It was awful to witness. And she said she spoke for all Republicans. So during the break, I went to her and asked her to please not say that she spoke for all Republicans because she did not speak for me. One of her cronies called me a rhino. What is your criteria for a rhino? My voting record has been Republican my entire voting life. So y'all are going to decide who's a rhino? At the state and federal level, I can understand it. But us, like I was the treasurer, Chris was the county judge, Jerry was a commissioner. I think there's some other elected officials who are retired. So how can we trust y'all to decide who's a rhino and who's not? And we know the damage that y'all do if somebody doesn't, God forbid, somebody disagree with you or your wife.
Wow.
1 second, sir. I would like to address Ms. Southwell. If you would like for me to post the video of Commissioners Court to Facebook page of what you're referring to for everyone to see, I will be happy to do that.
I'll do it.
Go ahead. Do it.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Are you okay with that, Judge Shuhart?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Because you will watch the video.
I was,
And
I don't have to watch the video.
Oh, okay.
I was there. I was the
But that's
treasurer.
your opinion. We want to see it so we can all decide ourselves too.
He asked me.
She
if
was
I
called a
wanted it.
rhino, okay? That's not on video.
Excuse me, we're supposed to be sticking to Robert's rules, and that's
Thank
personal
you.
attack.
That's called
Yes.
orders of the day.
All right, orders of the day. Hold on. Someone wanted to know who the precinct chairs were, and I'm going to call your precinct, your name. Please stand. Precinct 1A, Rebecca Bruns.
Thank you, ma'am. Can we say what your precinct is? It doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
So, you go up, it's Michael, and it's FM 1283, and they split us. So over here on the right where you have Summit Ridge, that now became 1A. Across the street where you have Vulcan Rock, I think that's still 1C. So.
I know what it is. That's my
Okay. Going up, we're like about 2 miles right before the Medina Dam Bar.
Brian, point of information,
Yes, ma'am.
and I'm probably speaking to the choir, but voting precincts are not the same as commissioner precincts. There is a difference.
Correct.
They do cross over in some cases.
Right.
So if you do not know that, you need to know that.
Okay. Good information. Thank you, Ms. Perkins. Okay. Precinct 1B Chair, Charles Thacker. There's Charles.
Where's 1B?
Locate, no, the precinct.
Precinct.
Roughly north of Highway 90, both sides of 173,
Quickie.
Toward Queehee?
and Quiggy.
Okay.
It's in Quiggy. Takes in some of Micah.
All right. Precinct 1D Chair, Tim Buskey.
Right here, MSP 1D. 1D is basically 90 south, and both sides of 173 going south.
All right. Precinct 2A Chair, Jeff Sarasana.
Right here, Jeff Sarasana, 2A. The 2A is pretty much Rio Medina, and then all the new construction that goes all the way up to the Microsoft facility. The new Microsoft facility, the older Microsoft facility, where the new high school is going, all that's 2A.
All right. Precinct 2B, Jerome Iltis.
I'm Jerome Iltis. Precinct 2B goes from Bear County line to about just past the golf course toward Queehee, from Highway 90 north to about halfway to Rio Medina.
Okay, thank you. Precinct 3C, Flora Gert.
That's me. All right, and I've been at this for 30 years. Where have you all been?
Your 2 minutes starts now.
Okay. Kind of between Divine and Natalia off of 132. That's about it. If you're anywhere near the Natalia bus barn, I'm in that area.
Okay.
Or 471.
Thank you.
On the east side.
3D Chair, Brad Price.
Right here. I had all the Hondo for like
Hondo. All right. Precinct 4B, Stan Hulse.
Right here, the precinct 4 is really strange. It's about half of Natalia, and then it works its way up to Divine, and then everything on the east side of 173, which would be the golf course, that's 4B.
All right. Precinct Chair 4C, Myra Vanderslice. Maria. My apologies, ma'am. I'm sorry.
I'm new to the precinct chair as of last month, so I'm learning a lot. Lived in the area for about 15 years. The precinct is, I live in Forest Woods. We cover part of the city of Natalia, correct? Boundaries with your precinct. And Great Oaks, part of Great Oaks.
Part of it, yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. And then we do have a precinct chair for 1C, Precinct 1C, and that is Kevin Newman. We just need to swear Mr. Newman in. All right, thank you, sir. We need to get you sworn in so you can get you to your seat.
Stand back up.
And then what area do you cover, Mr. Newman?
It's from Medina County line, west up to Medina Lake, down
Okay.
to Tweedy Road, and then across to Tranquil Road.
Yes.
Medina area.
And 1C was a vacant seat, and Mr. Newman went unopposed. So therefore, unopposed, you do not go on the ballot, you get who? Well, we didn't put you on there.
Well, because it's
Excuse me, Jerry, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Precinct 4A is Jerry Beck.
That's north of Divine, kind of the Black Creek area.
All right, those are all your precinct chairs.
Excuse me. I'm Cindy Jacobs. I live in Lytle, Medina County. Who's my precinct chair?
Lytle?
He just resigned. You don't have. That's Sarah. 2C on it.
Okay, so 2C,
Actually,
it's not 2C?
2C is Castroville.
Okay, so she is, which precinct?
Yeah, okay, 2C.
Well, no, you said not 2C, so,
Yeah, she'd be, all of the twos is Commissioner Precinct Center.
okay.
So it's all the Castroville.
So what precinct is this lady here in?
She's by the Lytle Water Tower, sir, that goes.
Okay, Lytle Water
Are
Tower.
you Medina County?
Yeah, she's just inside Medina
Just
County.
barely in, okay.
So that would be,
That may end up being 4C. Look at your vote, do you have your voter registration card with you?
Medina County runs FM 463 up to 90 is 2C. No, that's not.
Yeah, there's 463.
well, make sure you have a right map. Yes?
Can we post a copy of the map on our county precinct Facebook business page?
It's on the Medina County website. There are two maps.
Okay.
On the Medina County website, if you just go to Medina County, Texas, make sure it's not Medina, Ohio. The county has a website that's downloadable. If you go to that same website and you go to the elections division, they also have a map, and they are not exactly the same.
All right, I'm going to take one more question, then I'm going to make a closing statement, and I need someone to give me a motion to adjourn because we are past our time at the city.
Brian is in 2C.
2C, all right. Yes, ma'am.
Miranda Weimer from Divine. I have a question. I
Yep.
moved to Medina County 5 years ago. When I moved here, I joined the Facebook page so I could get information, trying to figure out who all is running.
Okay,
There's a handful of people in here that may be under 21, okay?
okay.
So if we're trying to get to the younger generation, people to go and help them get informed, where do they go?
Younger kids that want to get involved,
Anybody that moves to the county trying to get information, where do they go?
you can come to the Republican Party headquarters office at 1706 Avenue M.
But if they're new, like for me, I joined the Facebook page just to try to get information, that's not.
Well, we should be also in the Hondo Andel blurbs. Okay.
Volunteering to be the social media committee.
Are you volunteering to be the social media committee? Because I will hire you. Right now.
Is there
too much chat?
Okay. All right. Okay. The Facebook page should be containing that information, and it's being worked on quickly. Okay. You can also go to that meet and greet over in Schottenball, and I believe all the candidates are going to be there. Once we come out of the primary, then those Republicans running will go automatically to the Facebook page and will automatically go to the website. but not until after the primary, because prejudice does not need to be shown. So I just want to make one last statement, okay? I made a public Facebook post, and I replied to a couple people. The Medina County Republican Party, to include the Medina County Executive Committee, is endorsing no candidate through this primary. Zero. Okay? So that bylaw will not be executed in this primary. Period. Okay? I am not running for chair. Okay? My tenure will be done in June. Okay? It's my responsibility to get us through the convention. Okay? And then my tenure is done in June. Thank goodness. And the voter will decide who is the next chair. Okay? So the bylaw can be left up to the next Medina County Executive Committee. Okay? So that's part of the reason why I didn't understand why there was such a big uproar, and I don't want to use the term uproar, concerned citizens over the bylaw. Because I publicly stated we were not executing it. We were not using it. Okay? The only thing...
We didn't see that.
What's that?
Some of us did not see that.
Oh.
I'm not
The
sure
way
where it was.
the posts are listing on that Facebook page, there's an issue, because I've missed several things on there too. And we need to get that fixed.
All right. Not using.
Can't hear you.
It's dead. So, just dead. So the bylaw is not being utilized through this primary. Okay? We wish all the candidates the best of luck in the primary. Okay? I've had numerous different candidates call me for advice, help, whatever. Okay? I've given my advice, I've offered my help, I've offered my assistance. Okay? That is what I'm supposed to do as the chair. Okay? I appreciate everyone coming. I hope that everyone will attend the next meeting. It will be, well, actually our next meeting will be the conventions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I encourage you to please come to the precinct conventions. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good way for you to become a delegate to get to the state convention. Okay? Once you get to the state convention, a lot of what you see us do, you'll see at the state convention. Okay? One last question, and that is it.
Ryan, I'm sorry.
Yes.
How many delegates do Medina County have?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet until...
Like an example, 20, 30, 40, 50, and over?
No.
One delegate per 25 voters.
Okay.
Was the last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the last...
So I think in July we could have had 21 delegates, and there were, David, help me out here.
16.
We had 16, you think?
Okay.
Yeah. So,
They didn't quite all make it there.
yeah. Hey, and if you like to fight, the caucus room is for you. Okay? I'll promise you. I will promise you. All right. Once again, thank you all for coming. May I have a motion?
Jerome Middleton, I move we adjourn.
Second.
All my MCEC committee, say aye. Aye.